Cardinals coming out of the fog and onto the field here at Cardinal Stadium. Now, when you compare these two teams, you've got number 1 and number 2 in the ACC as far as rushing attacks are concerned, and A.J. Dillon leads the way in the ACC.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you talk about 1 and 2. It's not just A.J. Dillon and Jaden Hawkins who are great backs, but it's their backups. Hassan Hall for Louisville, and, of course, David Bailey, the little guy, if you will, on that Boston College team, just 5 pounds lighter than big A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon, you mentioned it earlier, his coming out party here 2 years ago. How about 272 yards? Our Hardy star to watch did not play against Louisville last year, so he's hungry to get after these birds. But look at him. 3 times in a row he's been the ACC Player of the Week coming in here, and just such a bright football player and such a hard studying, really understands what's going on around him, and really has great vision, has to have great vision behind this big offensive line.
Averages over 125 yards rushing per game for the BC Eagles and their top rushing attack in all of the ACC. Now, the situation at quarterback for Louisville is that Mchale Cunningham will be the starter for the 3rd straight game. And for more on that, we go down to the field and Abby Labar for her reports. It's our startup brought to you by the Honda dealers of the Carolinas.
Well, the bye week simply just wasn't enough time for quarterback Jawan Pass to nurse that nagging foot injury back to full health. So, yes, that is correct. Mchale Cunningham got the nod. He will be the starting quarterback for the Cards today. However, head coach Scott Satterfield said, do not be surprised if true freshman Evan Conley suits up and goes into the game at some point today. That is because Cunningham was a little banged up after the FSU game. So Conley has been the quarterback taking full advantage of the bye week. He's been the one getting in all of those reps. Scott Satterfield said he's earned the respect of his teammates. So with that being said, nothing has changed as far as the starter goes, except for, well, maybe his name. That's right, you guys heard us correctly. It's Mchale Cunningham, no longer Malik Cunningham. We were informed by him yesterday and his family that Malik is actually his middle name, and that from now on he wants to go by his first name. His 21st birthday is tomorrow. He feels like now is the time for a fresh start. And James, Tom, he challenged us today. He said, call me Mchale, but I know at some point you're gonna mess it up.
Abby, thank you. Number 3, Mchale Cunningham, starting quarterback today for the Louisville Cardinals on a perfect day for college football with those temps in the low to mid-60s. All right, our weather report is brought to you by the North Myrtle Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau. There we are, Louisville, Kentucky. That humidity 15%. Right now 67 degrees and very light breezes here at Cardinal Stadium. So the Boston College Eagles won the toss. They elected to receive the opening kickoff. Scott Satterfield, in his first year as the head coach of the Cardinals after great success as the coach at Appalachian State. And the opening kickoff, Travis Levy to receive it for BC. Up near the 20 for Levy and just past it on the return for Travis Levy. Abdullah made the play on special teams for Louisville. A 21-yard return to get it started for Travis Levy in Boston College.
Big hit for Abdullah. A knockout, if you will. How about those Muhammad Ali tribute uniforms that they're wearing here in Louisville for the first time? Ali, of course, from right here. And Anthony Brown hoping to lead the Eagles to a big win here today on the road. Both these teams, tough schedules the rest of the way. Both of them feel like they can win this football game here today.
This will be A.J. Dillon. Not a whole lot there for Dillon, the junior from New London, Connecticut. A little activity post whistle, just a yard for number 2, A.J. Dillon. He ran into G.G. Robinson, number 94 for the Cardinals, and also Rajay Burns, number 10. Opening moments of our first quarter. They'll go back to Dillon. He's got 3 yards to bring up third and medium for Boston College as Robinson and Caban combine on the stop, and here's third down for the Eagles.
Yeah, this is a tempo offense. Yeah, it's a run offense, not a spread offense, but it's a tempo offense too. Quickly back over the ball, back-to-back big plays for Big Robinson.
Cardinals much better on third down D, but this time it's a first down for Boston College over the middle. Kobe White has the catch from Anthony Brown, and it's 16 yards for BC.
Well, even though runs 1 and 2 were stuffed, still the pass works, opening up right easy across the middle, easy throw, an easy catch.
Another pass, another catch. This is Dillon down the sidelines. May have stepped out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. That's where they'll mark him out, as Sturgill rode him out of bounds. But that play went for 36 yards.
Just like that to the big back, and now there's David Bailey will come into the game as BC makes changes. Louisville will get a chance as well with the official standing over the ball before Brown can snap it. Now he'll move away and have a chance to match when they substitute.
David Bailey has come in as the running back for the Eagles and gets the call. Bailey sidesteps his way inside the 20. He's the smaller of the two backs, as James mentioned, and he got 7 yards, tackled by Russ East.
Talking with offensive coordinator Mike Mchale, he said, nothing changes in my play calling when 26 or 2 switch up in there. It's the same plays being called.
Mchale in his first year as the offensive coordinator for the Eagles after 4 years as the quarterbacks coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
This one will be close as they go inside the 15. And there's an example. David Bailey, A.J. Dillon, both. They get the ball in their hands. If they're hit, they're not down. They're falling forward for a couple more.
In our CPI security red zone for BC on 3rd and 1. They're going up the middle with David Bailey. Does he have enough for that first down near the 13-yard line? And he does.
Sure looks like it. Steve Adazio's team went for it quite a few times. 5 times, actually, in the loss to Wake last week on 4th down. So they would have gone for it there. There's Brian Brown over on the sidelines. You saw the defensive coordinator. It was at App State with Coach Staten last year.
They'll toss it out. Bailey around the edge. And he gets slammed out of bounds shy of the 5-yard line by Rajay Burns, Jr. from right here in Louisville.
Getting off of the field, staying on the field offensively on 3rd down. See how big these are. Boy, it was a nightmare on defense for Steve Adazio's team last week. But 3rd downs, that big 3rd down after the first and second plays of the game was huge. And now look what's going on, driving all the way down.
Dillon slams past the line of scrimmage, spins his way close to a first down. BC can get a first down at the 3-yard line, but he's short of that.
I'll tell you what they don't want here, Tom. They don't want 3. They want 7. Opening drive. Remember last week they had a 1st and goal at the 8. They're settling for a field goal. Too many times they've been shut down in the red zone. They need to make it a point right here to punch it in the end zone.
BC 11th in the conference with those numbers in red zone offense. They're going to give it to Dillon. Continues to fight his way. Now Louisville comes out of the pile with the football. Number 7 is Monty Montgomery.
Touchback.
Well, the officials are talking right at the goal line. Jeff Heeser is our referee. Montgomery, the sophomore, came away with the football.
There's a fumble recovered by the defense. Results in the touchback. First down.
Wow. There's another look at it. Ruling on the field. Ball is stripped. They never blew a whistle. And you know what's funny is, well, not funny if you're a Boston College fan, but last year at NC State, a very similar situation happened. A.J. Dillon, where Boston College, the running back, was fighting for extra yardage near the goal line. Ball came out. NC State got it. He scores there. Everybody at Boston College is happy. They didn't blow a whistle. If this happens, though, and never down and never heard a whistle. So I don't see how any review can overturn this.
So there is an ongoing review. So you heard the whistle, but after the takeaway, Dorian Etheridge was in there first to try to jar that ball loose from A.J. Dillon, and then Monty Montgomery, number 7 for the Cards, came away with the football. We are under review.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
Wow. Well, I said they didn't want a field goal. They would have taken a field goal over that. How about that? drive it right down their throat on the opening drive. There's one more look at it. Monty Montgomery, who backs up C.J. Avery at the linebacker spot. Just a sophomore from Norcross, Georgia, with the huge strip of A.J. Dillon right near the goal line, and now it's Louisville football.
Mchale Cunningham with the handoff. Hawkins right side. And 4 yards for Jaden Hawkins, redshirt freshman from Titusville, Florida. Brandon Barlow, number 44, had the tackle for the Eagles in maroon and gold.
You know what's funny? Jaden Hawkins, Hassan Hall, they're very good after contact, just like the big backs from Boston College.
1 second and 6. That is caught past the 40 and up past the 45-yard line. Des Fitzpatrick and a first down. Big play for the Cards of 23 yards.
Number 7's the kind of guy they want to build a program around here. The junior from Farmington Hills, Michigan, does a good job in the middle, going up and then turning and getting all that he can. But you know what? Early in the season, he wasn't catching a lot of balls. But away from the ball, he was doing everything that was asked of him. A great leader, great part of this team.
That'll be Hawkins for 1. So Mchale Cunningham, the sophomore from Montgomery, Alabama, 3rd straight start after throwing for 286 yards in the loss at Florida State on September 21st. And those 286 yards through the air, a career high for Cunningham. To the ground and Hawkins. Hawkins to the 20. One man to get by and shoved out of bounds. Jaden Hawkins downshifting to the 5-yard line, and Mehdi Elatrack saved the TD for BC. James, 47 yards on the play.
Doing what they do best. That is now 4 rushes over 40 yards. Look at him get outside, turn on the jets. 4 rushes over 40 yards. That's tied for the national lead. And this is a big play, explosive offense going against a defense that doesn't give them up very often.
First and goal, Louisville. And down to about the 2 for Hawkins. Hawkins came into the game averaging close to 100 yards rushing per game. He got 2 there. Leading rusher on the team. And now second and goal for the Cardinals. 8th in the conference in red zone offense. 13 trips and 11 scores with 10 touchdowns. On second and goal, Cunningham racing to that front corner, and he's got it for the touchdown. A 3-yard TD run. Mchale Cunningham.
This is a defense without a lot of experience. A defense that did a pretty good job of bottling up a slippery Jamie Newman. Great quarterback, great runner and thrower from Wake Forest last week. But they're looking at an even slipperier guy wearing that number 3 jersey for Louisville here today.
Blanton Creaky with the extra point. 3rd rushing touchdown of the season for Cunningham.
Hey, Mchale, Malik, Richie Cunningham, whatever you want to call it, that was showtime right there, baby. 3's the magic number in Louisville. To help to kind of set that edge, and then it's off to the races, and Hawkins can go once he gets going north and south, turns on the jets. Very good after contact, even better with no contact.
A 47-yard run by Hawkins to set up the touchdown run from Cunningham. And after Boston College fumbled deep in Louisville territory, the Cards cash it in for points and lead 7-0. Creaky to kick off. Levy from just inside the 5. Levy cut down at the 12. Troutman had the tackle on special teams for Louisville. The return is just 7.
Well, special teams play, in great special teams play, really shows what a coaching staff is doing, how the players are responding. If you're competing to get out there, hey, I'm not a starter, I'm not on second team, I just want to get out there and be a part of it, make plays. Yasir Abdullah on the opening kickoff, and then Troutman right there. Coach Satterfield and company, they've got these guys flying down, covering those kicks. Long way to go here for BC's second series.
On first down for the Eagles. It'll be a short run for Dillon. Boston College coming off of that loss against Wake Forest last Saturday at home for the Eagles. 27-24. Offense wasn't an issue, though, against Wake. James, 533 yards of total offense in that game against Wake, and the loss for Boston College.
Yeah, but you get that many yards, you got to score some points.
Flowers up near the 20-yard line for Zay Flowers, the freshman, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and he got 7. Kane pass on the tackle. He, the brother of Jawan Pass, still dealing with a lower body injury and unable to play this afternoon for the third straight game for the Cardinals. Cunningham is in there. He's got a TD run. We got a flag.
Start. Offense. Number 2. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
That's Dillon with the false start, and costly. You're looking at a third down and 1. You've got the defense just setting up. That's one thing that showed a little bit in the tempo offense they went against in Tallahassee. Sometimes they get up there and not quite set with the speed over the ball, but helping them out here, making it third down and 6 now. A lot tougher for the offensive call.
Time to throw. Touch on it. Complete past the 25-yard line. And that's Hunter Long. Hunter Long came in as the leading receiver for the Eagles with 12 catches. Give him 1 more on that play as the clock continues to roll. 7:25 and counting in the first quarter, and the catch by Long.
Well, third downs defensively were trouble for BC last week, and early in this one anyway. A couple huge third down gains after they've got them stuffed early in the drive. Got to stop that passing game now.
13 yards on the previous play, and a wide open man is Hunter Long. Long inside the 20. Long to the goal line, and he's in for the Boston College touchdown. Brown to Long, 72 yards.
Well, we mentioned the 272 that A.J. Dillon ran for 2 years ago when he was here, and that was a shootout back and forth, and early in this one, back and forth we go. And obviously a busted coverage when you've got a receiver sitting all alone with nobody within 25 yards of him, like you had Hunter Long right there, but Adazio and his troops will take it.
Extra point from Aaron Bumeri. James Bates, 72 yards on the play.
Yeah, there's a play fake to A.J. Dillon. Everybody's focused on him, but not that focused to where Long can be that wide open. And it's off to the races. Good hustle by Yeast, but all for nothing.
The longest scoring pass play of the year for Boston College. They've tied this game at 7. 7:01 to go in the first. Paulman Hawkins deep. Danny Longman on the kickoff. That'll be through the end zone. No return. 7:01 on the clock in the first, and we're tied at 7. Now time for our keys to the game. Brought to you by your local Ford dealer with James Bates.
All right, with the Cardinals honoring Muhammad Ali, the great one today, with their unis, I figured I'd go with some pieces of his big quotes anyway. He had so many to choose from. For Boston College, get used to me. Get used to A.J. Dillon. Get used to David Bailey. Get used to that big old running machine. That's what they've got to do. They got to pound it all day for Louisville. If you haven't learned the meaning of friendship, you really haven't learned anything. Another part of an Ali quote. And what I mean by that is last year was a team that played, it was a selfish football team. They've got to play as a team. They've got to play as best friends and teammates, and they've done that so far here today.
Play fake from the Cardinals and an open man. Tutu Atwell is number 1, and he's got the catch. 13 yards for Louisville on the pass from Mchale Cunningham.
Atwell, just a nice little throw and catch, the out route, and the soft coverage. And Atwell's been big for him, leading the team with 17, now 18 receptions, 5 touchdowns already for the sophomore, former Northwestern Bull from Miami, Florida.
Cunningham just past the 40-yard line. He got 4. Max Richardson had the tackle for Boston College.
For a guy, off the top, you heard Abby's report on the injuries with the quarterbacks. Puma Pass isn't suiting up today, not playing today, but Mchale Cunningham, didn't practice much at all during the bye week. He certainly doesn't look slowed down. There's Evan Connelly over on the sideline as well. But he looks pretty good for a guy that's been banged up.
Hawkins maybe back to the line of scrimmage at best. For Jaden Hawkins, the redshirt freshman. Jurgen and Ram on the tackle. Richardson as well.
Nice linebacker play to take the right angle, get past. Don't deal with those offensive linemen if you don't have to. Rip on past and a nice stop. Now, third down. Last week, 17 of 24. Wake Forest on third downs. This defense couldn't get off the field. It was the difference. Can they hear?
They'll throw it. Complete. Dawkins. He'll go into the end zone untouched and uncontested. 59 yards and a Cardinals touchdown.
The blitz is picked up. You don't see that back there. The time is there for Cunningham, and he lays it out there just perfectly for Seth Dawkins to run underneath it. Safety is late to get there. And boom, boom, just like that, they go right back down and score after Boston College tied it up.
First TD grab of the season for Seth Dawkins, the senior. Creaky adds the extra point. They've got a rushing TD and now a passing TD. Mchale Cunningham to Seth Dawkins. Waits for it, hauls it in. The Cardinals moments ago striking from 59 yards away. Cunningham to Dawkins. His first catch of the game goes for 7, James.
Well, first things first, if you're going to blitz from off, if you're going to come, you got to time it up and you got to put some pressure. A little late getting there. Go ahead and play it with the rush. Now watch Dawkins. And now pause it real quick here. Safety angle, Elatrack. You've done a great job defensively, Boston College, not giving up the big play, keeping the top on. This is a graduate student. This is a guy who's been there for a long time, not a freshman, not a sophomore. Hey, if you're going to come underneath, you better make the play. You better get involved in it. Nowhere near took a bad angle. And it's off to the races. And the team that's one of the best in the nation when it comes to explosive plays on offense does it once again. But Elatrack and this defense making it too easy on them here early.
That was our power play, James, brought to you by Honda Generators, and that's what Louisville has done. Generate some offense here in this first quarter. How about the Cards with 155 yards of total offense, a couple of TDs, a rushing TD from Cunningham, and then he found Dawkins for 59 yards. And Boston College, James, 173 yards total offense for the Eagles here in the first quarter.
And we start at the top of the show, the resiliency of these two teams going back to last year and what they had for Louisville and the way they've turned around and responded and the way they fought this year, the way they fought last time out 2 weeks ago before the bye in Tallahassee, down big early on the road, but came back and took the lead in the second half. And they've done it time and time again here early in this one.
Bailey. 3 yards for Bailey. The 17 is Dorian Etheridge. Now remember, Etheridge was the one who tore the ball away from A.J. Dillon down by the goal line. Then it was recovered and taken by Monty Montgomery, and they turned it into points. Second down. Bailey, the edge, and the first down.
Nice job blocking on the edge out there, giving him just enough time by the receiver for Boston College. Play before, great job by Etheridge, chopping him down. Just keep him running east and west. Don't let him get those shoulders turned.
Brown throws it on the run, short pass. That's the 39-yard line, as that pass was complete to Idrisi. Just 2 yards of the pass play. Anthony Brown threw for 265 yards and a couple of TDs last week against Wake, but also had his first 2 interceptions of the season. Right into the teeth of that Cardinal defense. Just a yard for Bailey.
Boy, it's collapsing play side here for Bailey, and a nice vision to cut it back, but he cuts it back into a wave of those secondary defenders who are filling, who are there waiting on him. Don't let these big backs get a full head of steam. Go up and stuff it and wait on them at the line. They do just that. Third down and long again. Where are those sticks? Where are they trying to run those routes right now?
Incomplete. Looking for Jake Burt. Russ Yeast on the coverage. Fourth down for Boston College late in the first.
Good job by the junior. Said it right before the snap. Where are the sticks? Russ Yeast knows. He knows where they're going to break those routes off. Trying to get right there. They've had a couple big passes hit on them to convert on third downs. Not this time. Louisville getting off the field. Get that high-powered offense back out there. Try to keep them lathered up.
Grant Carlson punts for Boston College to Jaden Hawkins from the 22. Hawkins drags a couple of BC players up to the 30. Jason Maitre made the play on special teams. So that was Burns on the return for the Cardinals. He also wears number 10. Just like Hawkins, just on the other side of the football. So he had the return on special teams. 14-7 Louisville. And just over 3 minutes to go in our first quarter. This is Cunningham. 6 yards on the rush. Nolan Borgerson came up to make the tackle. Offensive coordinator Wayne Ledford in his first season. Looking down at that play chart.
Offensive line coach / offensive coordinator. Not too many of those out there, although Steve Adazio, head coach across the way, was just that at the University of Florida.
Coach Satterfield plays a big role in the play calling as well, and this one did not go as planned. Hassan Hall got dropped for a 4-yard loss. Joe Sparacio on the play.
Sparacio just unblocked. Good job of doing his job. Nobody there to touch him. Drops him back. Not always easy to get some of those quicker guys in the backfield, but really got to get set back up.
Third and long for the Cardinals. Just 38% of the season for the Cards, but 1 for 1 today in third down situations. Deep into the play clock. Cunningham, quick trigger, and that one is complete past the 45-yard line. 2-2, Atwell was open, made the catch, and the sticks are going to move for Louisville.
Those sticks were about 5 yards in front of where this route is run. Here's the inside receiver, Atwell, and again, just way too soft. All day long, there was a 4-man rush, picked up easily by the offensive line. They've done a good job of protecting Cunningham, and Mchale finding his big guy, Tutu Atwell. Easy first down.
19 catches now on the season for Atwell. That leads the team. Past midfield goes Hassan Hall. Crashing to the turf. He got 3 yards as we go down to Abby.
So number 75, Robbie Bell, who started the game on the offensive line for Louisville, went to the locker room. This was his first game that he started and played in. So I'll see if I can get an update for you guys on that. But number 74 is in for him.
Abby, thank you for that.
Adonis Boone with the new guard in there.
Little pitch play now. Hall. And the pitch was not clean. It's a loss of 1 for the Cardinals.
That's an excellent job by that defensive end up there and trying to get a number for Boston College to fight to stay outside and to turn it back into all your buddies. Not credited with the tackle, but a big part of that play not going anywhere.
Louisville just converted a third down situation to Atwell on a pass play. Now 3rd and 5. They're 2 for 2 in the game. Final 30 seconds, first quarter.
Walked up like they were coming, but
False start. Offense. Number 59. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
that's TJ Mccoy, the center. South Florida, or Central Florida rather, just north of Orlando, Clermont, Florida. So it'll be a 3rd down and 10 now instead of that 3rd down and 5, and this is an offense that has the Boston College defense on their heels, much like that Kansas game where they just couldn't figure out how to get them stopped, and now they'll go the wrong way one more time. It looks like they were early.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty.
Well, Louisville's certainly helping out this BC defense right now, and they need all the help they can get. If you look back at that loss to Kansas, which was very surprising up on Chestnut Hill, 48-24, it was a defense that couldn't get off the field. The offense kept scoring in the first half, but then they just ran out of juice, and KU ran away in the second half.
So that ends the first quarter. All kinds of scoring at 14-7. The Cardinals have the lead. Cardinals lead the Eagles. 365 yards of total combined offense in the first quarter for BC and Louisville.
34 plays.
Charged with the ball to start the second quarter. Cunningham has to freelance. Shakes the man at the 48. And into Boston College territory. Borgerson had to make the tackle. 8 yards for Cunningham, but he's coming to the sidelines. Will he stay there? He'll come out wide, James.
He's going back out there now. And look, you've got him bottled up. Good coverage in the secondary, and he just slips out. And then he slips past many would-be tacklers to get up near that first down stick, but is still 2 yards short. He came limping off, but went back out there to go for it.
Staying in there on 4th down for Louisville. 5 of 9 on the season. So the Cardinals on 4th down. And most of them were looking at the sideline right now, and the play clock was down to 1, and they called a timeout. Just 50 seconds into the second quarter, Scott Satterfield, the first-year head coach for the Cardinals, has called a timeout to discuss this 4th and 2 for Louisville. So as they discuss it, he was shaken up slightly on the previous play. They called the timeout deep into the play clock early in the second quarter. And maybe for nothing else, James, but to give Cunningham a breather, try to shake off the after effects of that previous play. Now, will they come out and go for it? Will they punt? It's 4th and 2 for the Cardinals.
Looking at Cunningham with that helmet off, I'm not so sure, but regardless, didn't think it was the best thing to leave a hobbled Cunningham out there this early in the game. You've got the momentum. You really have the defense on their heels. You've done a good job shutting down with your defense, and they'll do probably the right thing in this situation. You get stuff there and give them the short field isn't what you want, so punt it away and make them work.
Yeah, good call, James, because Mason King is coming out to punt it to Travis Levy. Opening moments, second quarter. 14-7 Louisville, a rushing TD, a passing TD, 2 very long scoring strikes. Louisville's was for 59 yards, and BC threw a 72-yard touchdown pass to Hunter Long from Anthony Brown in the first quarter. Levy signals for the fair catch. Backs up to the 11 and makes it successfully. 35 yards on the punt and over 4 seconds of hang time from Mason King.
All right, you ready for that Aflac duck for the Aflac trivia quiz? Aflac. Yeah, thank you, sir. In 2017, A.J. Dillon rushed for the second most yards in Cardinal Stadium history with that 272. Who rushed for the most yards? I wouldn't know where to start.
Well, James, A.J. Dillon only has 11 yards so far. Bailey is the leading rusher for Boston College. And Bailey's up to 30 yards rushing. Past the 15-yard line for A.J. Dillon. Got hit by Kane pass. 7 yards for Dillon.
You know, one thing that has stood out to me is when you think of this running game for Boston College, you think of these backs delivering blows. They've been hit hard every time they're tackled. You know, Tom, I mean, it's like defensively, you've seen a lot of physicality, a lot of big licks from guys like Kane Pass. So they're dishing it out, too. Not just taking it, as everybody's going to take it anytime you face A.J. Dillon and these big maulers.
Dillon. Short of the 30-yard line for A.J. Dillon, junior from New London, Connecticut. For the third straight play, he runs into Kane Pass. And 3 yards for Dillon. College averages 252 yards per game on the ground, best in the conference, and 13th in the nation. This is a long pass play. Brown caught in stride and down to the 20-yard line. Zay Flowers got behind that secondary, and Chandler Jones brought him down.
Zay Flowers had 3 catches against Wake Forest, 4 rushes, and here he's just rushing on past the defender, standing flat-footed. And what a beautifully thrown football by Anthony Brown. Usually those big hitters work really well when the running game is really working, really pounding. Oh.
Quite a collision there. David Bailey and C.J. Avery. After that previous play, that long pass play for BC, James went for 53 yards.
Well, his defensive coordinator, also a Mississippian yesterday, Brian Brown, told us that Avery loves contact. All kinds of contact right there, the junior from Grenada, Mississippi.
This is Anthony Brown. First down and more for Brown. And now he is still on the turf after a gain of 14. To set up first and goal for the Eagles, but the attention on Anthony Brown, slow to get up for Boston College after what looked to be a design run.
This is tough for Steve Adazio and his team. Remember 2 years ago, this guy Anthony Brown, he had the knee injury, and at times last year they felt like he was thinking about that knee too much. Just when he starts feeling good about himself, about his health, and not really thinking about it, he goes down. We'll take one more look at it. You know, it almost looks like he hurt it on the cut. There wasn't any contact. He grabs that knee. So let's hope that number 13, Anthony Brown, the junior from Cliffwood, New Jersey, is okay. Dennis Grossell's next up. Try to hide it. I hate to see that for anybody. Anthony Brown worked so hard to get healthy.
Dennis Grossell is in at quarterback. He's got to hand it off, and down that 10-yard line goes Ben Glines. And that's a loss of 3.
Grossell now, the sophomore from Willoughby, Ohio, St. Ignatius, a great football program in Ohio, great wrestling program. And here's a former walk-on. Actually had a chance to play baseball in college. Passed up a lot of scholarships. He wanted to play football. He's going to have a chance, it looks like, here today, the rest of the way, perhaps.
Seeing action in his 6th game of the season, throws the pass down to the goal line, and a touchdown. Dreezy has the catch. 10 yards for BC on the pass by Grossell.
Well, as his buddy is still tended to by the training staff of Boston College, and Grossell takes advantage of that feared run game of BC. Little play action pass, and again, just too easy for Adreezy.
Just the 4th completion of the season for Grossell, and he's got his first TD pass.
That's fake.
Time, world heavyweight champ. But it's Boston College that just threw a punch from Dennis Grossell, his first career TD toss, as he found Corab Adreezy to tie this game at 14, and there is no return on our kickoff here in the second quarter with 11:27 to go. Let's check in with Abby.
Anthony Brown still on the medical table, not putting any pressure on it getting up. The trainer was kind of helping him out, moving his leg back and forth, so there was some movement. Players, coaching staff, they're all going over there, shaking his hand, helping keep his morale high. You hate to see that for a player that is loved by so many of his teammates. Ben Glines says he's one of the most self-disciplined players I know.
Well, and Abby, there we saw Steve Adazio going over there and checking on his starting quarterback.
New quarterback now for Louisville. Hawkins got the handoff from Evan Connelly. The freshman from Marietta, Georgia, is in there for the Cards.
Well, and off the top, in our open today, Abby Labar told you that during the bye week, it was Evan Connelly who really got all the reps. Coach Satterfield told us his shoulder was sore. We don't have anybody else. We've got a graduate assistant as our only other quarterback. Of course, Jawan Puma Pass is injured, not playing today. Mchale Cunningham was injured in that Florida State game, so he needed some rest. And he looks to be just fine, but the last time he was out there on the field, he did go limping off. So Northwestern, just like Tutu Atwell, Satterfield, he's taking advantage of the Northwestern guys through and through.
Cut back across midfield for Hassan Hall. And that's into BC territory. He got 9. The previous play is officially a pass play of 17 yards from the new quarterback Connelly to Tutu Atwell. And there's Cunningham on the sidelines. That's out to Thomas Jackson. That's first down yardage for Louisville. Just 2, but it's enough. Sparacio makes the play defensively for Boston College. So make sure you got the depth chart handy, James Spence.
Well, and behind Mike Palmer, that's where Nolan Borgerson is listed there at that safety spot. He does a good job with Sparacio to help out, come up and blow up that blocker so they can stuff him.
One pass over there with Cunningham. Watching Conley at quarterback. Conley, the freshman. Had seen action in just 1 game prior to today, and that one's in the turf near the 40-yard line.
And that was smart. Good job. Nice job by Connelly. It was into coverage, doing a good job defensively. Boston College of feeling that boot, that tight end coming back across. Just running with it, and he throws it in the dirt. Live to play another down. You've got first down, now you've got second down and 10. A very confident freshman out of Marietta, Georgia. Coach Satterfield will tell you.
It's a run. Hawkins. Hawkins inside the 20. And down close to the 10-yard line. They'll mark Hawkins out at the 12. Richardson forced him out after 32 yards.
Completely different style. The two backs for Louisville compared with the guys from Boston College. But the same motor and the same drive. Both Hawkins and Hall run with a purpose, and they run with the chip on their shoulders. The little big men, only 5'9", 182, this redshirt freshman from Cocoa Beach, Titusville, Florida. Man, big play after big play after big play for Louisville.
They'll run it right side. Some contact at the 10-yard line. Hawkins again. He got 4. The Cards are 1 for 1 in the red zone in our first half with a touchdown. There's a 3-yard TD run by Mchale Cunningham, who has gone to the sidelines. Was shaken up earlier in the quarter. And Evan Conley is there at the controls for Louisville.
Nice stop last play by Mike Palmer, that safety to come and fill in a hurry. The playbook changes a little bit now when you go from Mchale Cunningham to Evan Conley. We saw Cunningham on that first touchdown slide right out.
Hawkins tripped up at the 5. Mike Palmer, ankle tackle, 5 yards.
You know, one thing, we've mentioned the offensive coordinator, Dwayne Ledford. We also mentioned that he's the offensive line coach. Well, you got to tip the hat here in the first half to his offensive linemen. They have done a fantastic job not only of protecting their quarterbacks, but opening these holes for these big backs, getting up and moving. Very athletic and very physical. TJ McCoy, the center, graduate transfer from Florida.
Cardinals into the pile with Hawkins. Can get a first down near about the 2-yard line. Right now it says 4th down. So we came up short as we go inside of 7 minutes in the second quarter.
Well, and the way your offensive line has been firing off, I like this call right here. Feed the big guys. Feed them. They need one.
First time of the game, Louisville going for it on 4th down. 4th and very short.
Got to hold your water defensively, Tom. Can't jump offside.
They're going to run it up the middle and into the end zone. Jaden Hawkins did the heavy lifting on that drive, and he caps it off with a 3-yard TD run. in the game, 11 carries, 100 yards. And for Hawkins, his second rushing touchdown of the season.
Why does he choose to spend his time this way? Well, he said, when I played for 9 different coaches, and I responded more to the coaches that I knew they really cared about me. When I knew they cared, then I played harder. So he hopes he can instill that in his offensive linemen, and then that translates to the field.
Absolutely, Abby. And, you know, the saying, no picture didn't happen, no taste didn't happen. Meredith, we need cookies next time we come to town. But you're right. He certainly cares about his linemen, and they're hungry here in this game so far today, Abby. They've done a fantastic job for their offensive coordinator and offensive line coach.
Coach Ledford the last 3 seasons as an assistant at NC State. Also spent time at Appalachian State and Tennessee State. His team up 21-14.
Well, and, you know, the Wolfpack, those last few years, you look back, and how good was that offensive line in Raleigh? 1,000-yard rusher each of those 3 seasons. He's got a couple good little backs here, too.
Yeah, that includes Reggie Gillespie from a season ago at NC State. Boston College has the football, 6:23 to go in our second quarter. A.J. Dillon can't stretch it out at the 25-yard line. Russ Yeast, just a yard.
You know, the knock on this defense is you know, ball skills, anticipation. Let's get more interceptions. Let's get more picks. Well, one thing they've got a good football mentality of is stepping up and filling, bringing down these ball carriers and making these big tackles, especially from the safety spot here so far.
This pass out past the 40 is incomplete. Again, Dennis Grossell has come on for Boston College in place of Anthony Brown, who is looking for Adrizi.
Another play pass and plenty of time for Grossell. Hits Adrizi right there in the chest. That's one he's got to come up with. Now you're forced to 3rd down and 9. Got to give your defense a little bit of a break. But a long way to go.
Grossell just got it away, incomplete. Maybe a touch behind the intended receiver, Kobe White. It is 4th and long. Anthony Johnson in coverage for Louisville.
These Cardinal fans making some noise for their guys defensively, helping them to get off the field. With the young pup in there throwing the ball. The first one that was incomplete should have been caught. That one probably could have been caught as well, but a little bit strong and behind. And there's a look at Anthony Brown on those crutches, unfortunately.
Carlson got the punt away. Rajay Burns.
They lost it in the sun.
Yeah, he got away from that football at the last moment. Rolls inside the 15 for Boston College, and they'll down it. By the way, James, that was the first 3 and out of our game. 21-14, Louisville and BC. And that's the first time we've seen a punt after just 3 plays. 60-yard punt from Carlson. For head coach Steve Addazio in his 7th season. So here we go with Cunningham in the 3-yard run, and then some long pass plays by these teams, James.
Well, long pass plays and long plays in the middle of those drives to set them up. So many big explosive plays, and it's hurt both of these defenses, but especially the Boston College defense. And that's one thing that they've hung their hat on this season, is they haven't given up the great big explosive plays for the most part.
Cunningham has returned to the game for Louisville. The pass is complete to Seth Dawkins. Jason Maitre had coverage for Boston College, and now Conley's gone back to the sideline. 7 yards on the play for Louisville. So Evan Conley came in to replace Cunningham. He has returned with just over 5 minutes to go in our second quarter. Cunningham has a TD pass and run in the game. Hawkins has some space. He falls across the 40-yard line. Jaden Hawkins, 21 yards. Piling up the yardage this afternoon against BC.
Well, Hawkins came in averaging 6 yards a carry, and he's probably over that here so far today. Look at him. You know, and that right there's a perfect example. I mean, here's a nice play in position, waiting on a Max Richardson, the linebacker, to make the stop, but it's just like what you get from an A.J. Dillon type back. Oh, you hit him, and he falls forward for 4. But this is what the little man's doing, and Jaden Hawkins refusing to be dropped. He's going to fight for everything he can, and what would be a second down and 9 here, 8 yards to go, is a second down and 6, and it adds up.
I'll watch out.
Cunningham. Deep ball. Just off the fingertips of the receiver, Tutu Atwell, as he tumbles into the end zone.
Oh, what a pretty ball. And again, they're going to dodge the bullet here defensively, but Mike Palmer just takes the wrong angle. He comes underneath. We saw it earlier on the big touchdown to Dawkins. Mchale took a bad angle, and it was off to the races, off to the end zone. That time they're lucky it wasn't another easy 7, and here's a wholesale change defensively as they'll get set for a 3rd down and 6.
That pass by Cunningham, his first incompletion of the game. He's now 5 of 6 through the air. Wants to throw it. They're 2 for 4 on 3rd down. Now they're going to be 2 for 5. Wakefield was the intended receiver, but Cunningham is coming to the sidelines on 4th and 6, and just inside of 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Number 23, Travis Lady back in the Eagles. On the Company Farms, number 20, Mason King.
Travis Levy will wait for this punt. Mason King. Levy near the 16-yard line with the fair catch. The punt by King was 41 yards, 4.4 seconds of hang time for Mason King.
All right, you ready for the answer for our Aflac trivia quiz?
I'm ready.
All right. Where's that duck at? Come on. Here, do you have a duck call? I'm going to try to call him out here for you. There he is. All right, here we go. Your answer. Back in 2007, playing for head coach then Steve Cragthorpe, it was Anthony Allen, 275 yards against MTSU. September 6th, big 42. Brian Brom, quarterback on that team, but it's 3 yards more than A.J. Dillon had 2 years ago. Be sure to test your knowledge again with next week's Aflac trivia quiz.
Very well done, James Bates.
The duck call? Yeah, he wasn't coming. He did not want any part of that, and I had to call him out there. Thank you, Tom.
The Aflac trivia quiz, courtesy of James Bates, and now we've got some yellow penalty markers on the field.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Tyler Vrabel, number 78, redshirt freshman.
You just need your pass. Where are y'all going?
Son of Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel, 3-time Super Bowl champion with your New England Patriots.
This is an important drive. Louisville's going to get the ball to start the second half.
Bailey. Wrapped up Chandler Jones, and he's got a fist pump. Post tackle, just 2.
Just chopping them down at the line, doing an excellent job. That second level, guys filling in. Defensive line eating up those big blockers. The secondary coming in and knocking them down. Can they get off the field here on a 3rd down and 9?
Rossell was pressured. Monty Caban, number 53 and a senior, makes the play for Louisville.
David Bailey's going to try to sneak out here. Watch 26. Watch him grab him. Doing a good job and getting away with it. Gigi Robinson making sure he can't slip out on the screen. Nowhere for Dennis Grossell to go. The pressure coming off the edge. The senior Caban.
Number 10.
Grant Carlson to punt. Rajay Burns. Burns shields his eyes from the sun and backtracks. just inside the 30. Burns to midfield. Rajay Burns breaks the tackle at the 40. Penalty markers are out. Burns inside the 10 and finally goes down at the 3-yard line. There is a flag on the play. The return by Burns was 56 yards, and Aflac made the tackle short of the goal line. Penalty marker on the field.
Rajay Burns can't get a break. He took one for a touchdown against Florida State.
Holding. Receiving team, number 22. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
Oh, man. Back in Tallahassee 2 weeks ago. Took one back for a touchdown, but it was called back because of a penalty. How about this? Talk about out-kicking your coverage. Rajay Burns, he's the other number 10, but he runs with the same intensity, the same passion as Jaden Hawkins. And look at him. Presence of mind to help his guys, let him set up the blocks. Almost takes it all the way to the paint, but it's all for naught with the holding penalty. Wow.
Burns has scored a touchdown this season, James, a 30-yard fumble return TD against Western Kentucky. But that one coming all the way back. Abdullah was flagged for the penalty. All the way back to the 20. Mchale Cunningham. The handoff is Hall. Traffic jam on the Mass Turnpike. And a loss of 3 yards.
But see, therein lies the rub. The mental mistakes that when you talk to Scott Satterfield, what he talked about we needed to clean up, as they'll call a timeout. What we needed to clean up in that bye week, he said, those little things, those mental mistakes, being disciplined. It cost them the Florida State game. They would have had a chance to go win that game. You know, the little things are the next step in getting this program on the right track. One thing's for sure, you watch early in this season, early in this football game, this is a team that wants to be out there and play for one another and just playing their tails off, but they got to play smart as well.
And it was a penalty that nullified that return by Rajay Burns on the punt, James.
Maybe right there, I'm guessing, is where the hold will... No, that wasn't it. But that is...
James, I think you're right. That's Abdullah, 22. On the hold, on the return by Burns. Right up ahead of the play.
All right. Well, the flag was already down, so it wasn't on that.
Cunningham throws. Complete Dawkins. Dawkins inside the 20. And Dawkins inside the 10. Boston College finally brings him down. Mike Palmer near the 6-yard line.
My goodness, how big is this stop now? And just back there, just guys getting lost defensively. And it's just been too easy time after time. And a couple times for this guy, Seth Dawkins, who had the big touchdown earlier. A 59-yard touchdown catch. That one almost goes to the house as well. And here we're under 2 minutes in the first half.
To the end zone and in. Hassan Hall kept his footing, and he scores for the Cards from 6 yards out.
Back to having some fun here in Louisville once again. It wasn't a very fun season at 2-10 last year, 0-8 in the ACC. This is a team again that's lost 9 straight ACC football games after the loss to FSU. Fighting hard to try to turn that tide around. Doubling up Boston College now. It's 28-14.
Second TD run of the season. Hassan Hall from 6 yards away. Scott Satterfield's team went 80 yards in 39 seconds, James.
Look at the guys up front, just owning that defensive front, just crashing them down. And unlike Louisville defensively, that second wave is really struggling to bring down these backs. whether it's 19 or 10, Hassan Hall, Jaden Hawkins, well, a couple shifty backs. Running with a purpose back there for the guys in white, those good-looking Muhammad Ali tribute uniforms that they busted out today.
28 points in the first half. Second most this season. They scored 31 against Western Kentucky in a 38-21 victory. That game played in Nashville, Tennessee. That's the season high. Steve Addazio, some contemplation on that Boston College sideline. Coach Addazio is 2-3 as the BC coach against Louisville. They've won 2 in a row in the series, but right now trailed by the 28-14 count late in this second quarter. So Hawkins had a 3-yard TD run in this quarter, a 6-yard touchdown scamper, Hassan Hall. And Cunningham has accounted for the other 2 scores, a 3-yard TD run in the first quarter and 59 yards to Seth Dawkins for the TD pass by Mchale Cunningham. That's your scoring for Louisville. Flines and Levy will be deep for Boston College. Creaky to kick it away. Levy stumbles near the 30. 27 yards on the return from Travis Levy. 1:40 on the clock for BC late in the second. And really, James, this season it's been Boston College and its first half offensive production. They've scored 121 points coming into today, added a couple of TDs, and that's an average of almost 25 points in the first half this season. Dennis Grossell in at quarterback.
Well, and this will be interesting here. Let's see what kind of 2-minute offense they've got in them with their backup quarterback. Anthony Brown, if you missed it, left the game with a knee injury right after the first quarter.
Dump off, Grossell to Burt. And he is spun down to the turf. Abdullah made the play.
Yasir Abdullah, nice job staying home after the pump fake the other way. The Carroll City Chief, good open field tackle.
Loss of 3, previous play. They've got a connection here, though. It's Jake Burt. And he's into Louisville territory inside the 45 as Kane Pass made the tackle. They got 31 on the play from Grossell to Burt.
Nice job by Grossell and that whole offense to get up there and get set. 2 timeouts remaining for the Eagles.
That ball juggled by Burt. A chance for Avery to grab it, but it falls incomplete.
You know, again, we've seen, I believe, 3 passes now from Grossell in and out of the hands of these receivers. They've got to help the youngster out, help the new guy out. Let's see, here's another one. Stretch out there and get it. Should have been caught. Clock stops, though.
Grossell, quick release, incomplete.
High and hard for the former baseball player, huh? A little bit too hard.
Pass broke it up. Adrizi was the target. And now 56 seconds to go. Tight ends on the top of the scouting chart defensively for Louisville. 3 of the top 4 receivers for BC are tight ends, and 2 of them have TD catches today in Long and Adrizi.
Fresh bodies in there for Louisville. Going to try to get after the quarterback with a rush.
3 of 7 on 3rd down. Grossell's pass inside the 30. Hunter Long made the catch. First down, Boston College.
Well, go find your leading receiver when you need him the most. Excellent job to lead him, but not too much. Then he's going to spike it, so you can tell, even though Anthony Brown is the guy, Dennis Grossell has run this 2-minute offense a time or 2 back in Boston at practice. There's a nicely thrown football and a good job by Long to go get it.
That was 14 yards and a first down. Grossell came into the game for Anthony Brown here in the second quarter, threw a TD pass to Idrisi. And Long has a TD catch from Brown of 72 yards. See that target line for Boston College for a potential field goal. This pass is complete to Flowers. He's down to the 18-yard line. He gets out of bounds.
The way the defense has struggled with stopping Louisville, you better believe everybody over in the maroon and gold on the sidelines for Boston College, they're thinking we need to find a way to put this one in the paint. We don't want 3 here. They've got plenty of time with 42 seconds in those 2 timeouts. Let's keep chipping away.
First down for BC in the red zone. They're 1 for 2 in the game with a touchdown. Grossell escapes the pocket.
Oh, I need to use that.
He got 5 yards. And Boston College has taken its second time out of the half. 35 seconds on the clock. So James Dennis Grossell, the sophomore, has come in and played quite admirably for Boston College. A TD pass and engineering this drive right here for the Eagles late in the second quarter.
Yeah, and he hasn't made big-time mistakes turning the football over. He threw it in the dirt once when his guy was covered. Here he tucks it and runs when his guys are covered. Look upstairs, the offensive coordinator, Mike Bajakian, has his backup ready to play. And unfortunately, they need him here. Emergency situation with Anthony Brown going down early in the second quarter and on crutches right now. It doesn't look like he'll be returning to this football game. So 35 seconds remaining and 1 timeout now for Grossell, the new Eagle quarterback in this offense.
Anthony Brown was 6 of 7, 193 yards and a touchdown before leaving this game.
Boomer over there getting ready in case they need him.
Grossell looking left all the way to the end zone. And caught for a touchdown. Kobe White snares it for the Eagles. 13 yards.
Yeah, too many drops before that went on balls that weren't quite perfect for the receivers, but not happening with Kobe. White goes back across his body and hauls it in. What a big throw and catch for Boston College. Boy, did they need that to go into the locker room down 28-14. The way that Louisville had just grabbed a hold of all the momentum in this stadium, enormous that they can drive with Grossell at quarterback and punch it in like that.
Problems on the snap for the extra point. That's Grossell, throws it into the end zone. Hunter Long. That's not how you draw it up, but they'll take 2 points. It helps when your starting quarterback, or the quarterback who's come into the game for you, is holding. Anthony Brown was the starter. Grossell, 2 TD passes, and now a conversion for BC. You got to smile after that one, right, James?
You absolutely do. Happy not only with that 2-minute drive, again, in and out of the hands, a snap that should have been handled, but you know what? Doesn't panic, knows what to do. And a great job to make the call, whatever it is. You yell. You yell when there's a mistake. So you see the end there, turn back and look because he heard the call. There was a fumbled snap. You hear the call. Bingo, bingo, whatever it is, when it's mishandled, now I've got to go release. He does just that, and taking his time, Grossell, letting him get open and putting it out there for him. So now instead of a 7-point spread at halftime, looks like it might be a 6-point spread. But first things first, you got some 30 seconds to play with an offense that hadn't been stopped.
So Dennis Grossell has come into this game in the second quarter and thrown the first 2 TD touchdowns of his career. They draw BC to 6. And it's our 5-star drive summary brought to you by Yellowwood. Late in the second quarter, Boston College takes it into the end zone. Grossell gets it done to Kobe White for 13 yards.
Oh, look at the smiles over there for the sophomore from the Cleveland area. The defense, though, they need to get a stop.
Second TD catch, James, of the season for Kobe White, and Grossell is 6 of 11, 75 yards, and 2 TDs. Deep pass for the Cardinals. And the flag comes out. Des Fitzpatrick was the intended receiver. Brandon Sebastian defensively for the Eagles.
Pass interference. Defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, at least he got in the way. I mean, how many times have we seen guys untouched just run forever? He was beat, and he does all he can. He puts his head down, and he comes back, and he gets in the mix on it. It's a ball that really still could have been caught, but still banging nonetheless, and justifiably thrown flag. But living to play another down instead of a great big touchdown to answer.
Cunningham over the middle. Justin Marshall. 20 yards. Cardinals on the move.
And still 2 timeouts here for Louisville. Even at the end of that play, it was an iffy angle there by the safety. Gosh, they've got to be careful. They've given up too many big plays already. That one almost snuck out of there for another great big hitter.
Coach Adazio's team just put it in the end zone. Grossell to White. And here comes Louisville running the fast break.
They passing plenty of time for Cunningham.
First catch of the game for Justin Marshall. The reaction from Coach Adazio. In fact, Marshall just his 3rd catch of the season.
They've certainly spread it around.
Cunningham, deep ball, and it's too far. That was Marshall again on the sprint. Brandon Sebastian trying to go stride for stride with Justin Marshall, the sophomore from Conyers, Georgia. An explosive first half between Louisville and Boston College. I'm no math major, James Bates, but that looks like 50 points to me.
I can't even spell math. Don't ask me.
Completed to 35 and out of bounds. Seth Dawkins, who has a 59-yard TD catch in this game in the first quarter, got 7 from Cunningham.
We've only got 6 seconds left, so good chance it could be just one play here, just outside the field goal range. Louisville does have the 1 timeout.
Third down for the Cards. Looking for a quick strike and out of bounds, and Seth Dawkins has another catch. Dawkins is over 150 yards receiving in the first half. And with just a few ticks left, Scott Satterfield's going to send out Blanton Creaky. 8 of 9 on the season. And the career numbers for Creaky. It's going to be a 44-yard attempt. Creaky to add 3 more for the Cardinals from 44 yards away. No good. Creaky hits the upright. That close from 44 yards away for Creaky. Just his 2nd miss of the season.
And after the outstanding job, both of these football teams, 2-minute offense, running it pretty much to perfection, both quarterbacks. And here's the last play of a very exciting first half of football. Points galore. Surprised that one didn't go in.
22, Louisville. 2-0 with the halftime lead this season. 2-2 record for the Cardinals. And 1-1 here at Cardinal Stadium, taking on the Boston College Eagles. 3-2 on the season. The big plays from the first half, and there were plenty of them, James.
Yeah, you got some time, here they come. A.J. Dillon getting it done early in the game through the air, and too many times in the air. There hasn't been a defender anywhere for both of these defenses. The big plays through and through. That was Brown to Long, the first touchdown for Boston College. Here's a nice big pickup and a nice touch pass to Zay Flowers from Brown when he was still in there. And how about the speed by Hawkins getting outside against the Boston College defense there once again. You know, a lot of times when you hear people complain in college football about defenses not playing defenses because they're missing tackles, they're just missing coverages in this game too many times. Guys, just miscommunication in the defense, guys out of place, and it's making for some fireworks in the first half anyway. So we'll see if they have a chance to get some things cleaned up. But one thing's for sure, the hometown kids, the Louisville defense, they're going to continue to stack the box and continue to be aggressive, trying to shut down the run, A.J. Dillon and company. So it will be up to Dennis Grosel, make no mistake about it, if Boston College wants to win it in the second half, as he will be the guy the rest of the way, filling in for Anthony Brown, who has overcome an injury a couple years ago, a pretty bad one. And there you see in the second quarter, very early in the second quarter, looked to hurt his left knee. He came up holding his left knee, and they took him to the tent. And since then, he has been on crutches. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll see Anthony Brown, the junior quarterback, who's been so special for Steve Adazio and these Eagles here in this game.
Grosel has thrown a couple of TD passes, the first two of his quarterbacking career at Boston College. He's a sophomore. So Louisville will receive the opening kick of the second half. Hall is deep. It's going to fly into the end zone. Mchale Cunningham, who was shaken up in the first half, had to come out for a series. Connelly came in.
Look at those plays. And that's just for Louisville. It's a Louisville team coming in. They had 12 plays of 30 yards or more, 8 plays of 40 or more coming in. And BC was leading the ACC and stopping the explosives.
Over 400 yards of total offense in the first half for Louisville. And that's Cunningham. He got 5 yards. John Lamont had the tackle for Boston College. Keep in mind, James, for perspective's sake, Louisville averages 437 yards per game offensively. That's 4th in the conference. As I mentioned, they had 412 in the first half.
And this is a Mchale Cunningham who was banged up just like the starter at the beginning of the year, Puma Pass. Didn't practice much in the off week. Still trying to get Puma back out there. And if you joined us late, it is now Mchale Cunningham. Malik Cunningham, the sophomore from Montgomery, Alabama. Malik is the middle name, and he turns 21 tomorrow. Wants to change a few things around. It's Mchale, M-A-C-A-L-E. Mchale's in. Everybody's going to Kale. Smoothies.
9 of 12 and 227 yards passing in the first half for Cunningham. That's a third down play, and there's no gain.
Big. We didn't see too many of those. There's Puma Pass. Juwan Puma Pass, his brother Kane Pass, has been very active defensively. But the junior from Columbus, Georgia, has an injured foot after he started the first 2 games. Big guy, too, 6'4", 239, unlike Cunningham, who's 6'1", 192. And Cunningham in the offense, 3 and out. Didn't see much of that in the first half, so a good job with the adjustments, good job of firing it up early in the first half by the BC defense.
Near the 20, Levy got away from the first wave. And Levy takes it out past the 40-yard line. That punt by King was 47 yards. The return by Levy for 20 yards. Time to buckle up the chin strap if you're Grossell and if you're Levy for that matter.
Buckle that stuff up, and you're right. Levy doing a good job. Steve Adazio happy with his special teams play for the most part this season. But one thing that they've keyed on, he wanted better punt return yards. And with Levy being aggressive like that, it certainly helps. So nice field position for Dennis Grossell in this offense on their first drive here in the second half.
354 yards of total offense in the first half for Boston College. 1st and 10 from just beyond their own 40. A.J. Dillon. And James, you made the salient point as Dillon picks up 6 yards. Not outrageous numbers for Dillon in the first half.
No, not A.J. Dillon type numbers, and definitely not the type of numbers he had last time he was here in Louisville, Kentucky. 272 then. And there's the season, and there's today, the 10 carries and 34 yards. But watch out.
First down and more for Dillon. That season average per game is the best in the ACC. And 9 yards for A.J. Dillon. Prior to today, 3 straight games over 150 yards rushing for Dillon. Came in with 627 yards in total, best in the conference prior to the start of today. A punishing, bruising running back for Boston College. Trying to find some rhythm, won't get to the 40. 3 for Dillon.
But you know what? I like the game plan here to start this second half for Boston College. Hey, this is our guy. This is the dancing with who brung you. A.J. Dillon is certainly the workhorse of this offense. And the reason why Anthony Brown has success is because of A.J. Dillon. And if Grossell's going to have success, it's going to be because of A.J. Dillon, that offensive line. Just continue to pound every time. Back to the big man, bringing up a 3rd down after the short game.
Mike Bajakian right in the middle without the hat on. First year offensive coordinator. Spent time at Tennessee and Cincinnati and Central Michigan in that capacity. 4 of 8 on 3rd down for Boston College. 3rd and 5. Bailey.
How about the blows delivered right there at the end of that run? Remember, in the loss to Wake Forest a week ago, 3 of 5, Steve Adazio's team on 4th down, quickly over the ball, no substitutions.
It is 4th and short. Grossell trying to get it. They need about a yard, maybe the 34-yard line, and now Louisville thinks it has the football.
Again, I didn't hear a whistle.
No,
I didn't hear it the first drive of the game.
Right. Boston College took it deep into Louisville territory and then turned it over. Monty Montgomery had that fumble recovery.
A very similar situation. Forward progress didn't.
Versus stop for the result of a 1st down. 1st down, Boston College.
Coach Satterfield says, hey, where's the whistle? The forward progress may have stopped. Wow, that's... he's falling forward.
That's Dorian Etheridge who rakes it out of there and then covers it up. They are reviewing the play. So as they do that, we'll do this. The Louisville can review in the aftermath of that sneak by Grossell.
Well, therefore they can't, but listen. Listen. The first whistle comes right there.
Very hard to...
It's very unfortunate, and it's... Now, see, where he falls is where they're going to mark it. So if they're going to give him that yardage, then defensively, this should be Louisville football. But with the wording being on the field, forward progress being stopped.
That was a 4th down play on the sneak by Grossell to get the 1st down, and then the ball came out at the end of the play as Etheridge pried it loose, but there is no review. Forward progress was stopped. 1st and 10, Boston College. Grossell puts on the brakes and launches it to the end zone to no one. There is a penalty marker in the Louisville secondary.
I think that's the reason there was no one there. Someone got tackled.
Holding defense, number 3. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Let's see. He called it on 3. That's to Chandler Jones. 3 would have been Yeast. They'll move it up. So Grossell, he had the fumble on the point after try that went for 2 as he threw it complete, and getting lucky there and pounding his way on the first carry here is now Bailey. David Bailey, the 1-2 punch for Boston College, goes 245 and 240.
Boston College in the CPI security red zone. There's a player down on the field for Louisville. And that's going to be Kane Pass, number 30. Boston College has had a lot of...
And caused a lot of damage. Toyota, let's go places with A.J. Dillon.
Grossell on second down, floats it to the end zone. And a touchdown, Boston College. Adreezy has his second TD grab.
And when that run game works, quite a few other things seem to work in college football, no matter what the style of offense. And Adreezy, from the sophomore, Dennis Grossell, has just tied this football game up with that 2-point conversion that was made at the end of the first half. A chance now for BC to take the lead.
Third touchdown pass of the game and third of his career for Dennis Grossell. Extra point is good, not by much. And Boston College has taken a 29-28 lead. You recall on the BC TD right before the half, they had to go for 2 because Grossell couldn't handle the snap. Well, he handles this situation quite well and puts some touch on it, James.
Yeah, he did. We've seen him throw it a little hard at times, and this time he does just that, Tom. He's got the pressure in his face. He doesn't panic. He's going to take a hit. He does. Drops it right in there. Beautifully thrown by the sophomore, and a good job by Adreezy to pull it down.
That's 15 unanswered points by Boston College. 3 touchdown passes by Dennis Grossell, who came in for Anthony Brown in the second quarter. And Adreezy now has 4 touchdown catches on the year, and that leads the team as Anthony Brown heavily taped left leg. That was the issue. He made a cut down close to the goal line as Boston College was driving. And the knee buckled, and Anthony Brown on crutches for the remainder of the afternoon. His replacement has done quite well. Dennis Grossell, 3 TD passes. Boston College has taken the lead, 29-28. What a football game. Coming out of the end zone, Hall. Hall to the 30. Cut it back at the 35, and he stumbles and tumbles down beyond the 40-yard line. They'll mark him up there to 43. That return was 43 yards. Sparacio makes the tackle on special teams for Boston College.
Hang on tight. Always an adventure in Tallahassee last weekend. Rajay Burns, ill-advised, took one out of the end zone and ran it out right inside the 1-yard line. This time Hall goes straight north and south. An outstanding field position to start. Here's Cunningham and company trying to go answer now.
Cunningham has all day. Lines it up. Catch near the 15-yard line. Des Fitzpatrick elevates and secures the football.
Well, the hard work starting to pay off for big number 7. Had 7 catches, 133 yards, and a touchdown against FSU. Got the big hand up, and the big body goes up and just bangs. Concentrates on that football and unable to lodge it loose, and too late getting there is Mike Palmer. Another big play for this Louisville offense.
They got 41 yards on the catch. This is Cunningham. Angles out of bounds. Maitre forced him out. There's a flag on the play. So after the 41-yard pass play to Fitzpatrick, there is a flag on that scramble by Cunningham.
We talked at break. Scott Satterfield was in the ear of the officials the entire time. Any chance he had after that no fumble call, the flag was dropped, or was it? There was one down on the ground, but they decided to pick it up. Louisville fans like that one a little bit more. With the Cunningham with the sandlot little pump fake trying to get him to freeze.
First and goal. Cardinals. Second effort. Coming back the other way, and down close to the 2 is Hawkins.
This is the kind of mentality that Scott Satterfield and much of this staff is used to. The guys they coached at Appalachian State. Even look at Cunningham leading the way. Look at him just drilling the defensive back, trying to clear the way for Hawkins. But the feistiness and the chip on the shoulder, the running with a purpose that you get out of Jaden Hawkins is impressive.
Cunningham to the goal line and in for the score. There is a flag on the play. Cunningham took it in. Penalty on the play. Jeff Heiser, a conference with his officials. Remember, they picked up the last one just moments ago. Cunningham slamming it in from short yardage. Will it stand?
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the offense. Holding, offense number 74. After the play, personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, offense number 60. Both penalties being enforced. Second down.
Both of them. So it's Boone, the new right guard, filling in for Robbie Bell, and Tyler Haycraft, who goes full go all the time. There you see the backside, the tackle by Boone. And it's going to be, and there you see right at the bottom of your screen, Tyler Haycraft is going to go to the whistle. And then some there in that case. So instead of a touchdown, it's second down and goal from the 27-yard line. And Haycraft pleading his case. But it won't matter with a senior from right here in Louisville.
All in all, the ball gets moved back 25 yards. And this could be a loss as well, as Hawkins runs into Max Richardson. Richardson, the junior from Duluth, Georgia, loss of 1. So remember, the ball was all the way down at the 2. And now they're marking it at the 29.
There's certainly no need to panic. A lot of football left to be played.
So, James, I'm going to say this for the first time in my career. Third and goal from the 29. The way this game has gone, who knows what could happen on this play.
Right. What's that play clock?
Yeah, just did get the snap away with 2 on the clock. They'll swing it out. Safe play to Hawkins. He'll drag that pile. Not quite to the 15-yard line. Got 13 yards on the play, but again, it was third and goal from the 29-yard line. So it'll be time for the field goal unit. Blanton Creaky. His effort in the first half hit the upright. This will be a 34-yard attempt for Creaky. Missed from 44 yards away in the first half. 34 yards away. Creaky makes no mistake. Right down Broadway. More importantly, giving the Cardinals the lead, 31-29.
The greatest Muhammad Ali in that robe that he would wear with that block lettering. The black and white.
And the red gloves as well. As Levy returns it. Spins his way past the 30. And up near the 40-yard line for Travis Levy. 36 yards on the return.
What do you think?
That is, the greatest is the coolest.
Yeah.
Right there. That is quite a tradition inspired by Muhammad Ali. Passed away back in 2016. Gold medal winner, 1960 games in Rome, Italy. His presence everywhere in this fine city. Our host this week, Tom Wormy, James Bates, Abby Labar, and our outstanding ACC college football production crew with you from Louisville, Kentucky.
As the story goes, Tom, he was 12 years old here in Louisville. Someone stole his bike, and he was talking about how he was going to find him and whoop him. Boxing coach and police officer in town, so we better learn to fight first. I guess he did.
56 professional wins, 37 knockouts. Who will throw that final punch today between BC and Louisville? And right now it's that Louisville defense with a quick jab to the running game of Boston College and A.J. Dillon. He lost a yard on the play.
So go. I like that. Body blow, body blow. Big one making some noise now. Third down. Cardinal fans trying to help out that defense with a third down and long. They need 6.
Grossell lets it go. Attempted one-arm grab near the sideline. Chris Garrison, number 81, part of the fleet of tight ends for Boston College. Anthony Johnson tight coverage.
Nice job by Johnson. He doesn't fall for the inside. Keeps right there. Keeps a feel on that body. Perfectly thrown football by Grossell where only his guy could get it. No panic either. Pocket started to collapse for Grossell, but he stayed right in there and delivered the football. But good job on the cover team and a good job getting off the field defensively for Louisville.
Carlson punts. Rajay Burns trying to run it down. Fields it at about the 2. Interesting decision by Burns. 54 yards on the punt. And there is nothing on the return.
Mental mistakes. And this is again against Florida State 2 weeks ago. Burns takes one out of the end zone. Just a little bit of what looked to be like a panic mode almost. Needs to let this one go over his head, out the back of the end zone. Dealing with the sun as well. So instead of a touchback, this ball now is starting inside the 5-yard line. But Burns, it was inside the 1-yard line against the Seminoles 2 weeks ago. Just talented return man. Just got to be a little bit sharper in some of that decision making. But they're growing.
Not surprisingly, the worst starting field position of the game for the Louisville Cardinals. In their 2-2 record, James, they've already matched the total of wins from a season ago when they went 2-10 and did not win a conference game in the ACC.
And they've already lost that game to FSU this year, so it's 9 straight losses in the ACC, trying to turn that all around. Gosh, and you get the feel. You look at the rest of the way, and this schedule, it's not easy. I mean, they're just now getting into the teeth of it. But if they do knock out those mental mistakes, it could be scary for anybody they play.
They have to travel to Wake Forest next week. Abby, what do you got down there?
mentioned, you know, how they lost so many games last season, and so I spoke with Dorian Etheridge about the change, and I said, what's the biggest difference between Satterfield and his staff? And he said it was the work ethic. After a year like last year, it's simple. We were ready for change.
Well, hey, and that's, you know, that's one way to get a group of football players, Abby, to buy in is show them that you can win. And coming from a winner, Scott Satterfield at Appalachian State.
It's a winning play, James, up to the 20 and a first down, a late flag. Tail under the play. 2-2 Atwell trying to make a move in space. Will the penalty flag affect that play? And that's Cunningham on the sidelines. He is down on the sidelines and in some discomfort. Already left the game in the first half, only to return at quarterback as Connelly came in.
There is no foul for a block in the back.
Squeaky wheel getting the grease a couple times, huh? So Connelly, who Scott Satterfield told us yesterday, and who Abby LeVar told you off the top of the show, we would probably see Evan Connelly in this game. Oh, goodness. Mchale Cunningham needs help just to get up and move. So already Anthony Brown done for the day for Boston College. Here's a backup now for Louisville, Evan Connelly.
Conley was 2 of 3 passing in the first half. This is a strike. 30-yard line and Des Fitzpatrick. 11 yards and a first down.
Let's take another look at it and see if we can see how Cunningham got hurt. And that's a penalty. That's a miss. The flag was down, and it shouldn't have been for a block in the back. It's when the quarterback is vulnerable. They've really made it an emphasis the last couple of years to protect those legs, and here's why. And it's not like it was on purpose. It's just a defender that rolled into us, but a penalty nonetheless that was missed. And the damage is done to what was already a bad ankle. Not sure if it was the same one for Mchale Cunningham. So now it's the freshman. So you've got a backup freshman for Louisville and a backup sophomore for Boston College running the show.
Approaching 3 minutes to go in our third quarter. Conley had only attempted 3 passes and completed 2 of those prior to this afternoon's action. Once again, Mchale Cunningham starting his 3rd straight game in place of Juwan Pass, being evaluated in the medical tent. Hassan Hall looking for an avenue. All roads are closed for Hall. Loss of 1. Jermaine Moose making the play.
Watch, see if you can see the end of it. Watch here on the edge of the line. Watch 60. There's our guy. Big right tackle Tyler Haycraft. The whistle was blown earlier because he went a little bit after the whistle. He's not holding back at all. Doing his job. Good job defensively, though, to bring up a 3rd down and long here for the freshman.
4 of 9 on 3rd down in the game for the Cardinals. This is 3rd and 8.
Pressure.
Quick throw near the 45-yard line and a first down. 2-2 Atwell. 12 yards on the play, James.
Great job, Tom, picking up the blitz. Boston College dials it up. Why wouldn't you? You've got the youngster in there. He stands in there strong, waits for Atwell to get to that mark, breaks it off, and connects with him. Moving the chains. Excellent job for Dwayne Ledford, the offensive line coach, offensive coordinator here for this Cardinal offense.
5 catches, 64 yards for Tutu Atwell. Leading receiver on this Cardinal team. This pass is on schedule, but it hits the turf. Justin Marshall had a beat on it. Sebastian trying to catch up defensively for BC. It looked pretty good in the air, James.
It looked great. Both Evan Conley and Dennis Grossell have come in and maybe losing a little bit of a pep in the step. Both these teams, as their starters, their leaders have gone down, getting banged up nonetheless, and ball thrown perfectly, dropped in there for Justin Marshall. Nice throw. It should have been complete in a big play.
Paul, nowhere to go. Boston College, they had it red. Paul Theobald, number 36 and a sophomore for BC.
Now trying to make that 45-yard line where they've really struggled to cover at the middle of the field. Safety play has been a little bit off for both these teams, especially for the Eagles here today, but they got to find a way to shut it down.
Catch made down to the 32 Atwell. 26 yards. Conley to Atwell.
Tom, can't say enough about this offensive line. The blitz is there. They bring the bodies and they pick them up. A great job. Late pressure for Conley. Stands in there strong and puts it right out there for Atwell to run underneath it. And unlike the long pass before, this one is hauled in by Atwell, the leading receiver, with a big reception from the freshman.
They will not get the play off. So we're going to head to the 4th. What a game between the Eagles and the Cardinals. It's all about the Birds today. How about 31-29 into the 3rd quarter. And ready to start the 4th. And we get an update on Mchale Cunningham. Abby's gone out of this game with injury on 2 occasions.
That's right. He was was in the medical tent. His right ankle was being looked at, but good news is he has his helmet back on. He was back here warming up. So that kid is a fighter. Sounds like we may see him back in the game.
Evan Conley, though, at quarterback right now for the Cardinals. Trying the misdirection with Hawkins. Just a yard. So the tallies, Louisville, 552 yards of total offense. BC, 407 yards of total offense on the Napa game summary.
Big plays. 16 total of 20 or more yards, and many of those over 30 and over 40 yards.
Conley's pass complete, 23-yard line and out of bounds. Marshawn Ford, sophomore from right here in Louisville, Kentucky, at Ballard High School, got 5 yards.
Ford, a guy that former walk-on, awarded a scholarship last spring. We asked about attitudes from Scott Satterfield, the head coach. Who are guys that want to pattern this program after Marshawn Ford, one of the first he talked about.
Boston College has decided to take a timeout. 14:07, early part of the fourth quarter with the Cardinals in front. Cardinal Stadium opened up back in 1998. Recent expansion to the stadium, and you can see that Mchale Cunningham wants back in this game. Helmet on, football in hand, and trying to loosen up those legs and get back in. Right now, Evan Conley in replace of Cunningham. Early part of the fourth quarter. Boston College has won 2 in a row, but Louisville has won 4 of the last 6 meetings between the teams. When they last played here in Louisville in 2017, BC hit a field goal as time expired to win it 45-42. We may be headed down the same path this afternoon in Louisville, Kentucky. Third and 4. Complete. Fitzpatrick to the end zone. Conley to Fitzpatrick. Touchdown Cards.
Starts up front. Great protection by the offensive line. The pass rush getting after it, but nobody sniffs Evan Conley. And enough time to stand in there and let the big body of Des Fitzpatrick come across the middle. The first down and a whole lot more, all the way to the house.
Third TD catch of the season for Des Fitzpatrick.
Again, freshman has to come in backed up. Nobody gets there. He lets Des come across, and then doing the rest of the work is big number 7. See, just letting it clear out and then overrunning was the defender Barlow. The guy assigned to cover him there, and it's just, boy, that's a mismatch. The receiver on the defensive end, that's not going to end very well if you don't get to the quarterback in a hurry.
96 yards on the drive, Abby. So Louisville up 38-29 as we check in with Abby.
Yeah, well, we just saw Conley connect with Des Fitzpatrick, who I asked, what is their confidence level like as receivers when you have different quarterbacks in that are getting those reps? And he says the confidence level is high. All the 1s, 2s, and 3s are always getting reps with the 1, 2, and 3 quarterback. And we just saw that.
23-yard play to Des Fitzpatrick, and those receivers have stepped it up today. You're right, Abby. What a performance. This is Levy. On the return performance, is the ball out at the end of the play? Are they signaling it down? That appears to be the initial signal as Levy had the return of 43 yards for BC. Fitzpatrick, by the way, 4 catches and 98 yards in the game, and that TD just a moment ago.
Well, how valuable has Travis Levy been? Takes it from out of his end zone, just running hard to set his offense up. Here's another look at the end of the play. Protecting that football, it certainly looked like it. But a defender underneath him, and so if they are looking at this, it could get more interesting than they think, but I think they're going to get the snap off here.
That was Trotman who made the play at the tail end of the return from Levy in a cluttered pocket. That one is dropped near the 40. And it appeared to be very catchable for Ben Glines, who is a capable receiver, the graduate student from Cincinnati, Ohio.
And another bullet thrown in there by Grossell. Receiver's got to help him out. Too many drops now since Grossell's come in the game.
Dillon. Kane Pass made the tackle. 7 yards on the run by Dillon. 42nd game of his career in a Louisville uniform for Kane Pass today.
I would say that he'd make you miss in the phone booth, but I don't know that he'd fit in the phone booth. I mean, what a spin right there in traffic, and he looks like he's a little bit dinged up. A.J. Dillon, as he's out of the game, and you've got an empty backfield set here on 3rd down and 3.
The time for Grossell at the 25, intercepted. Anthony Johnson for the Cardinals with the pick.
Grossell, we've seen his arm. He's got some strength. Look at Johnson doing his best Ali in that uniform. He's been waiting for that one. What a big turnover. Quarterbacks for BC that haven't thrown any interceptions until last week through 2. Brown through 2. Here's the first of this game, and just underthrown. Grossell has the arm to put it out there. He just tries to get a little bit too cute and touch it in there. And he throws it well underneath his intended target. And look at this. Mchale Cunningham back out there.
First interception of the season for the Louisville Cardinals, and it comes in the 4th quarter against BC. Cunningham had all day and then just launches that one near the front row. On 2 occasions this afternoon, Cunningham has had to leave the game. And if you're wondering why we're calling him Mchale, that was by his request. He's got a birthday coming up, and he wants to be known as Mchale, not Malik. I want to make that point very clear.
It's McDaniels, not McDonald's.
Yes.
These rhymes are Daryl's. Those burgers are Ronald's.
And the passes are from Cunningham. Mchale Cunningham shovels it forward. This may go down as a pass and a loss. We'll wait for the official scoring on that play. It is a forward pass.
It's big for this defense, this Boston College defense, to step out there after the sudden change. Not expecting to get out there, got to buckle up those chin straps and go out and play. They did a great job the first couple plays of this series. Now they've got to find a way to get off the field.
The back is Hassan Hall. He has a touchdown run today in the 2nd quarter of 6 yards. 38-29 Louisville. Approaching 12 minutes to go in our 4th quarter. Cunningham's pass. Incomplete. Leaping attempt from Des Fitzpatrick, who had that most recent TD catch of 23 yards. Jason Maytree was there for Boston College.
This is an offensive line that's allowed too many sacks this year, but they certainly don't look like it today. And that's with Robbie Bell even being hurt, the right guard. Boone has come in to replace him. Here's the ball Des Fitzpatrick catches most of the time. He's upset with himself, as he should be, because that one would have moved the chains and kept this offense out on the field. But instead, that interception goes nowhere, and a good stand here by the Eagle defense.
Levy is deep. Levy catches it and rolls out of bounds near the 30-yard line. That punt was 37 yards. And Boston College will have the ball. The Eagles, and the entertainment value of this ball game through the roof here at Cardinal Stadium. Exciting plays left and right by both Boston College and Louisville as we play early on in the fourth quarter.
We still got 12 minutes of football to play. Plenty of fireworks already. I mean, explosive big plays have been the difference back and forth of keeping each other in this, and whoever's going to shut that down and perhaps create another turnover will have a pretty good chance here. And I would have thought that a turnover would have been devastating for Boston College, but they're able to dodge it and get back out there on offense by a nice strong stand from the defense.
This is Grossell. He'll tuck and run and step out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line for Dennis Grossell. What an afternoon for this young man, James, coming in relief of Anthony Brown, who was injured in the first half. Grossell with 3 touchdown passes of 10, 13, and 19 yards. And now for this game, the teams have combined for 1,001 yard, and will add to that total with Dillon. A.J. Dillon, second level, and he's pushed to the turf, short of the 30-yard line.
Well, you certainly knew it was there. The Cardinal defense has been able to keep him bottled up for the most part. And look at him dance. Goes airborne, puts his feet on the ground and cuts. And he can really get going fast when he gets a full head of steam, carrying bodies with him. So a first down and a whole lot more, but there is an injured Eagle. It looks like Zay Flowers, the freshman receiver out of Fort Lauderdale, is being looked at right now.
29 lead for 46-year-old Scott Satterfield. When they eclipse that 30-point mark, Abby, they're pretty tough under Satterfield.
30 is the magic number. Scott Satterfield, his record as a head coach is 43-3 when scoring 30 or more points. Tom?
And that includes the last 3 seasons as Sun Belt champs for Appalachian State. He was the head coach there from 2013 to 2018, and 4 straight bowl appearances. He was the coach as App State moved from the football championship subdivision to the bowl subdivision. That's Zay Flowers walking gingerly to the sideline.
Jake Burt. A little early, these little things. We're in the fourth quarter. Got to stay clean. Got to keep it clean. Stay in this fight.
Misdirection gadget play for Levy, running towards the goal line. He's pushed, and Levy is into the end zone, just inside the pylon. 37 yards for Travis Levy.
This is good to see. Time after time, we've seen the junior, Travis Levy, grab that football on a punt return, a kickoff return. Look at Lindstrom right here, watching the big man get up and go to lead the way for him. Here on this end around, look at him out there, boom, clearing the way. They do a great job on the inside, and then hey, anybody on this football field, we've seen a lot of fight here today. There's about as much fight as anybody out there for number 23, and he finds a way to get into the end zone. And a quick strike after the penalty for BC.
First rushing touchdown of the season for Travis Levy. The extra point makes it 38-36.
Watch Big Lindstrom get up and move. That's a big old boy. Wraps that arm around a little bit. The white glove blends in nicely with that white jersey. Nobody sees it. And there's the push at the very end, but inside that pylon. I've been impressed with the hustle and special teams for Levy, so it's nice to see him get a chance to shine, and there he is with Lindstrom celebrating down there. Boy, Alec Lindstrom, that's what stands out to me as much as anything watching this Boston College offense on tape is the athleticism from the center. You know, a lot of times you'll see guards getting up and pulling, but the center, Alec Lindstrom, has done a fantastic job. Abby, it runs in the family, I guess, with the Lindstroms, doesn't it?
Yeah, Chris Lindstrom was drafted last year for the Eagles, plays for the Atlanta Falcons, and I asked Adazio about that family, and he said it starts with their dad. He's no softy there. He really pushes those guys. They're just a family that loves ball. They're competitive, but they have zero ego. They are the toughest critics, but they're also the nicest people.
That's right. The 14th overall pick, brother Chris was last year. He's injured right now, but they're planning on getting him back before season's end, Abby, there with the Atlanta Falcons. And two guys, Tom, that came in to Boston College a little bit light, a little undersized. He still runs like he's light, but 275 now. Big guy, and he actually, if you have fun watching him here on the sidelines and blocking out on offense, you have a lot of fun watching him on Instagram with those food reviews. And running back coach Brian White like to go and check him out.
Connelly at quarterback will hand off for the Cardinals. That's Hawkins, 3 yards. Evan Connelly has thrown a touchdown pass in this fourth quarter of 23 yards to Dez Fitzpatrick. Boston College coming back on the Travis Levy run. A little bit of a switcheroo by Boston College. They reversed field. Trick play, gadget play, whatever you want to call it. It worked for the Eagles to cut the lead to 2, 38-36. Connelly sets, delivers a strike. Fitzpatrick. First down, Cardinals, 10 yards.
But you know what? Defensively for the Eagles now, just keep them in front of them. Evan Connelly's a freshman. And, you know, just like on the other side when you've got Brosell, he's a sophomore. Not a lot of experience. Keep him in front of you. Don't let him pass you like we've seen too many times today and give up a freebie, a big play. Keep everything in front.
Hawkins nowhere to go. There is no gain.
Both these teams, too, it's a chance basically this tight game at 9:30 left to play. If you look at the numbers of Evan Connelly, pretty good for a guy popping up off the bench to come in and fill in for Mchale Cunningham. You got to keep it clean now. Don't cough up that football. Don't make any mistakes with the penalties.
Connelly's pass. Broke it up. Atwell was defended by Borgerson, and he knocked that one away. Incomplete to Atwell.
You're going to see here inside, turning and running. Doesn't let the cushion break down, and does a nice job going up and high pointing that football and stripping it away. You know, too many times we've seen guys this season, not just today, standing flat-footed, and that cushion breaks down, and you know, these athletes that are on the outside that they're trying to throw the football to, you don't stand a chance. Borgerson does a good job staying on his toes and flipping those hips as that cushion starts to collapse.
Connelly over the middle. Catch made by Atwell. And a first down. 20 yards. Atwell, though, flips off the helmet. He's clutching the left leg. 20 yards on the play to Atwell, who's gone over 100 yards receiving in this game, as has Dez Fitzpatrick. So 2 receivers over 100 yards, but right now the focus on the health of Tutu Atwell, the sophomore from Miami, Florida.
Is that Marcus Valdez? The defensive end is back there turning and
on that Louisville sideline. 9:06 to go in the fourth quarter, and his team up 38-36. 613 yards of total offense. They did it 2 years ago, also against Boston College, although the Eagles hit a field goal as time expired to win that game 45-42. Colton Lichtenberg with a 27-yarder a couple of years ago for the Eagles on this very field.
As we mentioned earlier, that was the day that we all found out about A.J. Dillon in the ACC. Went for 272 yards.
Also 4 rushing touchdowns for Dillon, and those stand as his career highs in both of those categories. Up the sideline for Hawkins.
It's one thing to get penetration. It's one thing to get through, but you better adjust. You know, if you don't know by now, there's 8:40 left in this fourth quarter. Adjust those angles. These guys are going to make you look silly if you're taking those wrong angles, because Jaden Hawkins, he can turn on those jets and go. Don't always try to go for the loss. Tackle him at the goal line. Adjust that angle.
Play never really developed for Hawkins, and the exchange didn't look all that smooth between the two either, and a loss of 2.
Loss of 2,
Ram made the play for Boston College. If you're just joining us, that is Mchale Cunningham. That is his real first name. That's what he wants to be known as and by. And to his right, Juwan Puma Pass. He's played in a couple of games this season. Pressure was coming, and Connelly just kind of lofts it up there, and it bounces near the 10. Des Fitzpatrick, closest Louisville receiver.
It's a good job on the edge of pulling up. You know, too many times you see guys just boneheaded play. He hits a quarterback hard as he's throwing it. Jamin Moose, I believe, they're rushing off the edge. Good job, and the pressure to force this 4th down and 10 now, as they line up over the football here with Evan Conley. I'm not so sure. I'm just trying to let him jump off sides and let the clock run out.
Scott Satterfield takes his first time out on 4th and 10. I don't think they had any intentions of snapping that football.
I'm not so sure why you use that timeout in a tight game. You know, you let that clock run out, you go 5 yards back, and it's a situation where it almost seems like it would help a punter out, where he can just put a little bit of leg into it. But 2 timeouts left now for Louisville.
And before we get to that, Scott Satterfield, wonderful conversation with him yesterday, James. He's brought a fresh energy to this program this season.
Absolutely. It was fun to sit down, not only with him, but his coordinators as well. And always fun to sit down with Steve Adazio up there in Boston. We bring in the Cannolis. Talked to them on the phone this week. Had a good chat with them, too.
Mike Bajakian, offensive coordinator, and Bill Sheridan, defensive coordinator for the Eagles. This punt takes a bounce. Batted back towards the 1-yard line and inside it. They're calling a touchback. Now, in college football, it's when that football breaks the plane of the end zone. That's the problem. The punt was 42 yards. As a player in college, James, you can be in the end zone to prevent the ball from breaking the plane. But once it breaks the goal line, plane, right there, that is a touchback. In the NFL, that play may have stood.
It's a nice hustle play to just get down there. Too many times you see guys just let it go in. Character bats it back.
In the NFL, that play stands. Unless he was on the goal line there. It's close, but you can bat it out of the end zone in the NFL. Once that ball crosses the plane of the goal line, that is a touchback in college.
Well, Louisville using that timeout, and that's a waste of a timeout there. May have helped to be 5 yards back. So here comes A.J. Dillon, Boston College, and these Eagles trailing by 2.
A.J. Dillon, James, had only 28 yards rushing in the first half. He's up to 96 for the game. And Dennis Grossell has come on in relief of Anthony Brown, who injured his knee in the first half. Upended at the 30. Ball came loose at the end of the play. Pass made the hit.
And Lindstrom came up with it regardless. You got to go chop him down. Whatever it takes to get the big man down, I'm not so sure. Don't blame him going low.
Grossell. Too far for everybody. Kobe White was the receiver for Steve Adazio's Boston College Eagles.
So try him up top. Get some positive yardage here on the ground.
Dillon spins away from a tackle and then gets dumped near the 45-yard line. C.J. Avery popped him after 14 yards on the gain for Dillon, who has now gone over 100 yards in the game. 114 for A.J. Dillon.
He takes his initial hit. Here's another guy down in the secondary for Louisville.
It's Anthony Johnson, number 27. He has the interception in the game for the Cardinals, their first of the season. They'll attend to him. Sophomore, Coconut Creek, Florida. The one and only interception of the season for the Cards as they play in their 5th game, 2-2 record.
You know, and that was one thing back at Appalachian State that Brian Brown's defenses, they were so good at. A bunch of ball hawks. Seemed to always be up top when it came to creating turnovers. Some outstanding defenses for head coach Scott Satterfield. So let's hope that the guy with the first interception on the year is going to be okay. Here's another look at Dillon. I mean, after that initial hit, you better bring everything you got and then some, and a couple buddies along with you. That's good to see. Johnson pop up and walking off. But I mean, after he was hit, Dillon spins, gets his feet back and falls forward about 10 more yards. Nice run, and it's first down and 10.
Flowers couldn't turn the corner. Yasir Abdullah, number 22, and a loss of 3 for BC.
There you go, 22. Carroll City Chief taking on that block, keeping him off of you with your hands, and then fighting to drop him. Good job by Yasir. I played with his papa, Xavier McCray. He was a Carroll City guy as well. The Chiefs.
Rossell, sturdy pocket, lets it fly, and too far for the receiver trying to run it down, Travis Levy. 3rd and 13 for the Eagles.
Here you see the 4 of 11. This one of the biggest. They need the 47-yard line of Louisville. And most importantly for Louisville, those defenders, where are those sticks? Where am I on this field? Those are that's the mental preparation. And that's just being of a football mind. Where are they trying to get here and running and breaking off those routes?
Rossell takes off. Up near midfield. He's into Louisville territory, about a yard short of the marker based on the initial spot.
It's going to be really close. So 5:30 as this clock will continue to run unless they decide to come out and measure it.
11 yards on the play for Rossell, who had misfired on his last 5 pass attempts, so he elected to run it. That looked like a design run to me, James.
It certainly did. Tucked it right away. It was, and he had the lead block of services anyway of Bailey. He'll fall backwards. You know, it's going to be marked where that butt goes down, which looks to be right about even with that stick. Jiffy Jeff is usually right on with that first down marker, so he's probably going to be just a few winks shy. Wow. So Steve Adazio, who went for it 5 times, 3 of 5. He was successful on 4th down last week in the loss to Wake Forest. Has a decision to make here. He's got 2 timeouts left. And 4th and inches, he's going to keep them in there. Louisville, you got to hold your ground. You can't jump off sides and give them a freebie. But you better come firing off.
1 for 1 on 4th down of the game for the Eagles. 4th and inches.
Oh.
Something didn't look right there, and the officials have thrown 3 penalty markers on the field.
Snap infraction. offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Here's Lindstrom, the center. And it's almost like he felt like he had a little bit of movement and he was trying to pull somebody off sides here on this left side of Louisville's line, and they'll keep that offense out there. They tried to get a guy off sides and goes against them. So now on 4th down and 6, they'll keep him out there.
Grossell rolls it right, throws and complete. And that's a first down for Boston College. Kobe White makes the catch. And the Eagles convert on 4th down. They got 7 on the play.
Outstanding. Roll him out there. Buy him a little bit of time. And Kobe White, presence of mind. I'm not so sure that he had that route run past the sticks, puts his feet down, slams on the brakes to make sure he goes past. And here comes Dillon.
A.J. Dillon. 10 or more yards on that run. Back-to-back first downs. Boston College give A.J. Dillon 12 yards on the rumble.
How about the gutsy call with Grossell on 4th down and 6?
Rolling that pocket and getting the first down. And Scott Satterfield, understandably, pacing those sidelines. Eagles and the Cards have delivered. Gadget play. Back to Grossell. It's a short hop. Looked like Zay Flowers was trying to throw that one. And they went with a little razzle gadget, and it didn't pay off.
Underthrown. The pressure was there on Flowers. It was David Bailey threw a touchdown pass last week against Wake. And here you see reacting a little bit late. That ball's on the money, and it's a big pickup. Safety's reacting, but it was a touchdown to Garrison from David Bailey in the Wake Forest game last weekend. 2nd and 10 here.
Grossell under pressure to the end zone. There's a diving attempt there by Flowers, but the ball was too far ahead of him. Anthony Johnson in coverage. And we're right back to 3rd and long for Boston College. 4:17 on the clock of the 4th. BC scored first in the half to make it 29-28. 10 straight points from Louisville to take a 38-29 lead, and then BC scored. Travis Levy, and here we are, 38-36. Dillon.
He splits it in half here, and I don't think that you've got a field goal kicker in Bumeri. The graduate, Aaron Bumeri.
4 of 6 on the season. This would be from 45 yards. This would be a career long for Bumeri. Bumeri knocks it through for BC. 45-yard field goal. Aaron Bumeri.
Wow. Clutch by the grad transfer from Temple. Nice snap and hold, and an excellent job by Bumeri. Danny Longman handles the kickoffs, and Bumeri handles that field goal to give Steve Adazio and these Eagles the lead with 3:32 left to play.
James, the longest attempt of the season prior to that attempt by Bumeri was 40 yards, and his make against Kansas. So he had not attempted a kick outside of 40 yards this season. But that one, from 45 yards away, is money for Bumeri, the graduate student from Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania. So now Longman to kick it away. Hall and Hawkins, they're deep. And Boston College has taken the 39-38 lead. What a football game today. So after Louisville scored 10 unanswered, after BC had scored to start the half, 10 straight for the Eagles after the 45-yarder from Bumeri.
So 2 timeouts left, and how about this? It'll be up to the freshman, Evan Conley. 9 of 13, 127 yards to go with that one touchdown. If they want to snap this 9-game ACC losing streak, he's got to march them down.
That pile just keeps on moving. Somebody lost a helmet in there, too.
They got to blow the whistle because they got to call a play dead when a helmet's off like that.
It's going to be 12 yards.
With a big man, Hawkins.
I'll tell you what, this is the 150th anniversary of college football. That looked like an old school college football play, rugby style.
It did, and look, and Hawkins hits Ram so hard. Big TJ Ram, 315-pounder, the 180-pounder, gets up underneath him and pops his lid off.
So Bennerman has to come in for Ram. He's 98 for BC. This pass, complete. Seth Dawkins makes his way towards midfield. First down, 13 yards for Louisville.
Nice little blend there of Hawkins, then Dawkins. Seth Dawkins has had some great big plays, explosive plays. This one, nice easy throw and catch as they chip away here. With just under 3 minutes left to play.
6 catches now for Dawkins. Connelly throws it near the 20-yard line. And that was Atwell back there on the Conley pass. And Nolan Borgerson defending for BC.
Well, letting the freshman sling it around, and he puts it out there. And if Atwell fights a little bit more to try to come back across that body, he may not have gotten the ball, but he may have gotten a flag. And Borgerson, who was a step or two behind Atwell, does a good job just putting his head down, running and trying to get in the mix. Forces second down and 10 now.
Conley hands it off. Hawkins, first down and more. Hawkins down near the 20-yard line. Jaden Hawkins on the burst for the Cards. And you can give him 28 yards on the play.
Watch the offensive line blow it up on the right side. Great vision and great cut to get out there. And then it's Tutu Atwell. And then it's Des Fitzpatrick blocking down the field to make it more than a 5, 6, 7-yard gain. But he's off and running and marching down there and putting themselves in field goal position here for Scott Satterfield as well. Back and forth we continue to go.
Cards trying to snap that 9-game losing streak in the ACC, as James mentioned. They have not won since November of 2017, right here against Syracuse. And that was a 56-10 decision. Back in mid-November of 2017, there is no gain for Hawkins. 1:45 to go. Bumeri's 45-yarder is the difference right now. That field goal moments ago to make it 39-38 BC on the road. Cards with the football.
And the football that they must protect. Boston College, extra emphasis on trying to rake it away. Uh-oh.
Ball's on the turf. Scooped up by the Cards. Tyler Haycraft was there to cover. There is a loss of 1. The damage could have been much worse for Louisville.
Hometown kid right here from St. Xavier. Louisville, Kentucky. Tyler Haycraft, the most active guy up front all over the field, and we're glad he was in the right spot of the field as this one hits the ground after it's right there in the mix-up. And wait, how many offensive linemen are going to try to scoop and score? He had big plans, didn't he? I mean, most offensive linemen are going to jump down on that and just make sure we're all okay for the next one.
Let's go down to Abby. More on Haycraft.
Offensive coordinator Dwayne Ledford said about Haycraft, he is exactly what you want in a football player. He says he looks at his kids and he looks at Haycraft and thinks, that's the type of kid that I want my kids to be like. I want them to give that effort.
And I would love for them to have hair like that. Beautiful locks flowing in this golden afternoon sun. Boy, that's that band of brothers sticking together, and Coach has done an excellent job, Abby, of making sure, Coach Dwayne Ledford, that they're all fighting for one another. Can they fight their way? We can get an ACC win here today against Boston College and a incredible hard-fought battle back and forth by both of these teams.
3rd and 11. Connelly, receiver, cut the route short, and it's incomplete. Atwell was back there in the end zone, but there was another receiver who stopped the route as Connelly was looking that way. It looks like Fitzpatrick right there, number 7.
Probably was intended for Atwell there, but just not enough air underneath it. So here we go.
So there you see what Creaky has done today. A make and a miss. And this is going to be from 41 yards away for Blanton Creaky. His career-long 48 yards, hit that back in 2017 at NC State. And he is tops in school history in field goal percentage makes. 41 yards away, Creaky, to give the Cards the lead. He's done it. 41-yard field goal, Blanton Creaky, and his 2nd of the day.
Again, good snap and hold. Mitch Hall, the lefty snapper and a lefty kicker, Blanton Creaky. The senior capping off a drive that put Scott Satterfield and the Louisville Cardinals back on top. And here's one more look at it. There's the big body of Seth Dawkins, and they certainly didn't hide the freshman quarterback on that drive. They let him sling it around. A lot of help from Jaden Hawkins and company. There's the snap, the hold. And that's your Land Rover, the drive. And what a drive it was if it stands here today on a special day as the Louisville Cardinals are honoring Muhammad Ali with those uniforms. And this certainly has been a heavyweight back and forth bout, just round for round and blow for blow.
That field goal, James, by Creaky, that's the 4th lead change of the second half between these two programs. Louisville now with 665 yards of total offense and a 41-39 lead on the second made field goal of the game for Blanton Creaky. He hit in the 3rd from 34 yards away, and that most recent one was a 41-yarder to put Louisville in front. 1:02 on the clock. What an afternoon, James, in Louisville, Kentucky.
Tom, they got to start right here on this play. If Levy gets it, they need to shut it down.
Glimes going to fight his way to the 25, and he'll be stopped at about the 24. 23 yards on the return by Ben Glimes. Fago on the tackle. Special teams Louisville. Here we go, James. 55 seconds remaining. And remember, for historical perspective, the last time these two teams played here in Louisville, it came down to a field goal as time expired for BC to win it. Right now, Blanton Creaky has put the Cardinals in front for the moment.
You saw Anthony Brown on the crutches cheering his guys on from the sidelines. Dennis Grossell is back up. He's in charge of this offense right now at 55 seconds.
Looking for Zay Flowers. One timeout to work with for Boston College.
We've seen what looks to be a pretty strong arm. And give him a little bit of time. Launch one down, maybe draw a penalty flag at some point.
Grossell on the run. That's complete to Flowers. Steps out of bounds beyond the 30-yard line. Close to that 33 for Flowers. 9 yards on the play. 3rd and short. 45 seconds on the clock for the Eagles.
Nice job by Flowers. Good to see him back in there after he left the game with an injury earlier. Back out there making plays now. So nice quick out of bounds here. A 3rd down and 1 with 45 ticks remaining. Uh-oh.
Dillon stopped short. In fact, he lost a yard.
Yasir Abdullah again. In the backfield. We showed you the player earlier on the penetration. You know, the penetration, the puncturing of those offenses. The offensive line. Get A.J. Dillon stood up, get him changing directions before he can get going. And defensively up front, winning the battle right there to force a 4th down and 1. The Louisville Cardinals led by Yasir Abdullah.
Boston College has taken its final timeout. They are perfect on 4th down of the game, 2 for 2. Not a lot of choice for the Eagles now. And James, it looked like on the exchange there that A.J. Dillon might have gotten tangled up with Grossell just a little bit at field level with the feet. So the stride wasn't perfect for A.J. Dillon. Mary has connected from 45 yards away in his only attempt here in the 4th quarter. At the time, it gave the Eagles the lead, 39-38. Quentin Creaky came back, and he made his 41-yarder. And right now, that is the difference. That field goal from Creaky. 38 seconds to go. 4th and 1, Boston College.
They're going to get it for free.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
The ongoing theme, really all season, but the emphasis these past 2 weeks at practice. The Florida State game, too many mental mistakes. Just too many mental mistakes for these Louisville Cardinals.
First down for the Eagles, 38 seconds to go. They are out of timeouts. Grossell throwing off the back foot, and that's too far for Zay Flowers.
Make sure you line up off of that boundary line enough to where you give yourself padding, enough room to run that route, and also your quarterback enough room to dump it in there. Give him a chance. Nobody can catch that ball thrown 5 yards out of bounds. Got to give yourself a chance here. 2nd down and 10. 33 seconds now.
Grossell only 3 completions this half. This is a desperation toss that is well out of bounds. So he's now 9 of 23 in the game with 1 interception for Grossell, but he has thrown 3 touchdown passes and the first 3 of his career.
He had no choice there. You see the little pebbles on the back of his jerseys because the pressure was right there in his face. Last thing he could have done was take a sack there, so smart to get rid of it.
Looking and looking. Grossell won't get to the marker, 45-yard line.
They got to go. They got to get up there and get over the ball, and a good awareness by Grossell. But this is going to eat up a lot of time here.
4th down, can't spike the football, need to go for it. Final seconds, Grossell got it away, it's incomplete. Incomplete, looking for A.J. Dillon with 2 seconds left on the clock. And Louisville up 41-39, and the celebration is on their sideline. It's been a long time coming for the Cards. Back to mid-November of 2017 for an ACC win. They may have it today, James. Just 2 seconds on the clock.
Scott Satterfield and company. Well, it certainly wasn't easy, and it wasn't pretty. It was fun from up here. This was a lot of excitement. And the sloppiness really for both of these teams and giving up too many big plays, but a lot of backups, especially at the quarterback position. Highlighted the most in this one, doing an outstanding job when they were asked to fill in. But for Evan Connelly, he's your winning quarterback, your winning backup, and Scott Satterfield and these Louisville Cardinals, hard work paying off. After 9 straight ACC losses, they get a big old win here in Louisville today.
First since 2017 against the Orange. What a performance by both teams today. In the end, the Cards have just enough to get by the Eagles 41-39.